Welcome back, guys. Today I've got a video that I've kind of been promising for a few months. The weather has improved a little bit. A little windy out today, but not that bad. I got the Dutch Beaumont-Vitali model 1871/77. This rifle was revolutionary and at its time was the most advanced rifle you could get. It fires an 11.3 by 52 rimmed cartridge, also known as the 43 Beaumont because of the name. I've got these made from 5090 Sharps brass and loaded with 80 grains of double F black powder and a 405 grain lead cast 457 diameter bullet. It seemed to be performing well when we fired a couple rounds out of it last winter, so we'll see how it does today. Anyways, this particular rifle was manufactured in 1873, so it was originally a model 1871, and then in 1877 they came out with the 4-round, Vitali style magazine, which is pretty cool for that time period. So it's a bolt action rifle with an extended magazine, kind of like its followers in the late 19th century with the Mauser and the other stuff that came out at that time. Originally the 1871 was just a single shot rifle, and then they came out with the magazine in 77, so this was updated at some point. The bolt's really weird. It's really thick, and it's actually two pieces if you'll notice. On the top it kind of splits and there's a screw on this side. That's because the striker spring is just a V-spring in there that catches on the firing pin inside and allows the bolt or the cocking piece to go forward and the firing pin to actually hit the round. It's really unique and they break a lot, so I had to make mine from a muzzle loading mainspring for the action, or for the lock, I'm sorry. The sights are really cool. They're graduated up to, God, I can't even see, 1,800 meters, and they just flip up like this. You don't need to do anything. It's kind of got a tension on it. So I think that was for volley fire, because that's pretty generous at 1,800 meters for this thing, in my opinion. I don't know. Sights are just a standard V-notch in the back, and then an inverted V in the front. They're actually pretty small as far as their profile when you're looking through them. It's got the stainless steel barrel. It's got a nice patina on it from the humidity, and I don't want to exactly take it off. Cleaning rod, I don't know if that's a reproduction. Probably is, but usually they won't have those. It's a 45 caliber barrel. This thing is like 457, 458, but they call it a 43 Beaumont for whatever reason. To work the action, you simply move the bolt up, just like you would a modern bolt gun. Pull it to the rear, and the round will be in there, chambered, or not, God, you need to slow down. It'll be in there in the magazine, and when you push the bolt forward, it'll put it in the chamber, and it locks forward like that. And when you pull the trigger, the cocking piece goes forward, the firing pin strikes the primer, and your round is out. And then you simply pull up, back, and repeat the process. So, yeah, it's a pretty modernized weapon for the time. And it's really fun to shoot. It kicks like a muzzle loader, but it's got the accuracy of a rifle. So we're going to go ahead and shoot this at 50 and 100 yards today, and we'll kind of show you the accuracy of this thing from 140 some years ago. So here we go. So I'm going to be shooting this at 50 yards like we did last winter to start out, just to kind of get the barrel a little warm so it starts hitting more consistently, because apparently that actually is a factor in black powder weapons. So I'll go ahead and load the magazine. Oh, is the cutoff on? Forgot to mention that. This is the magazine cutoff. So when it's back, the magazine's functional, and when you push this little lever forward, it's single shot volley fire mode. So we'll load these in. Got 4. And then I'm going to load the 5th one in like this. Okay, so got the sight set all the way down. We'll see how she does. Got a little jump to her. Notice that big cloud of black powder smoke? That's so satisfying. Seems like she's hitting low still. And we got one more still. That's a lot of smoke for a bolt action. I think she's shooting low still, but it's grouping fairly well. Maybe once she gets warmed up, it'll be a little better. There's the rounds once they come out. They just had to fire for them, which is why there's black around the neck. Because if you see the cartridge from the die set, it puts a nice bottleneck on it, whereas the actual chamber is more of just a gradual incline. So that's why they're black around it. Second time using these, it shouldn't do that. So we'll go up and check out the target. So that was probably the first one. And then gradually, once the barrel warms up, it starts hitting higher. So there's the last 4. Not bad at 50 yards. We'll keep going with this, let the old man do it. And then we'll move it out to 100 and see where it's at. If it keeps shooting this low, we'll move the sights up a little bit. But it's battle sighted for, you know, a longer distance than 100. But we'll get it figured out. This old man's gonna try it at 50 yards now. He can group a little better than me. A little bit more kick than with a winter jacket, huh?
Yeah.
It's about like a Martini Henry. What'd you think? Now with a t-shirt on.
A little tougher with a t-shirt.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't that black powder smell good?
it does.
All right, we'll go up and see how he did. Here's the old man's group. He's shooting a little bit high. Got a bullseye. 3 of them were higher, and I'm sure the 5th one went right over the top. Maybe right there where that little singe mark is. But still not a terrible group for a rifle that old, and making handmade ammunition. So now I'm going to try one more time at 50, just to kind of get it into the bullseye. And then we'll move it out to 100. And unfortunately I don't have anything over 100 today, but that should be good enough. So here we go. Okay. So one of the goals I have with this rifle is to eventually, once I get rich and famous on YouTube, not. Anyway, once I get a little bit older and get a little bit more cash flow, take this out west and actually take down a buffalo with this. I think it would be really interesting to, you know, take down a buffalo with something that was designed around the time that the buffalo was a popular animal for the U.S. to kind of slaughter. But no, I just want to do it the traditional style, not muzzle loader, of course, but you know, using this thing. So, all right, 50 yards again. Extractor still works pretty good. Yeah, probably, because that round wasn't going in. I don't know if I'm hitting a little higher than I was last time or what. We'll see. Okay. One more just for good luck. All right. Good stuff. So it's still shooting a little bit low on some of these for me. That's probably just myself. Because if the old man and me are getting the different results at the same sight picture, it's probably just us. It's a pretty old school rifle, and the trigger's kind of rough. I'm not making excuses, just kind of telling you why it's a little bit harder to shoot than some of the modern rifles. Is the trigger is just, it's pretty heavy, probably about 13, 14 pounds. So it's kind of hard to squeeze it. But anyways, that's still a dead animal. That's still a dead buffalo or a dead deer at 50 yards. So I'm pretty happy with those results. It's still grouping pretty damn good for being 140 some years old. So now I think we're gonna take it out to 100. We'll let the old man do it at 100, and we'll kind of go from there. Take your time with this. We'll do some more practical stuff after we do the sighting in. Just kind of want to do some bench shooting to show you the accuracy of the rifle. You hear that son of a bitch hit? That it? Yep.
That's it.
Alright, moment of truth. Welcome to the pond that I was telling you about in another video. They hit a stream when they carved out the pistol range, and now the rifle range suffers. Nice big frog over there. Anyways, so out of 5 rounds, he's got 3 on target right here. So again, shooting a bit high. The sight's a little weird to use, so maybe it's because of that, because this is really small. But still 3 on target in a decent group for a black powder rifle. That's pretty good. So now we'll do the real fail test and see if I can hit it at 100. My ass can hit this at 100. Probably gonna be pretty funny. Alright, first shot. I kind of tried to squeeze that one. Trigger's a bitch though. That's it. We'll see how that 5 did. At least it was on the paper. Not exactly where I wanted to hit, so I'm aiming too low. I'm going to flip the sight up a little bit and see if I can't move it up a little bit. I moved the sight up from the very bottom to up to the battle sight. You just flip this little thing out and it goes down. So now I flipped it up, moved the slide forward, and now it's resting on the battle sight setting. We'll see if it raises the group up a bit. Another one that I need to trim. Okie dokie. Okay, we're gonna let the old man do 5 subsequent. Kind of speed things up a bit, because then we gotta do some standing fire after this, no matter where we hit. Because I'm almost out of rounds. These things take forever to load up, but it's worth it because this is a lot of fun. Take your time shooting. Too bad the smoke isn't hanging from the wind. Once you get used to it, it doesn't seem like it recoils as much.
No.
It's just a push, a big push, but it's like a Martini Henry. Love how you can hear the report when it hits. It's a big round. All right, so we'll go up and check these out, and then after this, regardless of how we did, we're gonna do some standing fire at 50. Welcome back down to the pond again. Enjoy local Wisconsin fauna and amphibious wetland life. Notice the frog over there if you can see it. Dragonflies. All right, anyways. So those are my first 3. So now on this one, this has got to be my trigger pull because I don't know what else it could be. They're all consistent, but they're all to the right. So I got that one barely hit. 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're all on target. Just requires some more practice with the gun itself. Now the old man's target, he got 3 right above there. Because his original 3 were right here. No, he got 1 up here, I think. I don't know. We'll have to review the video. Anyways, he hit 3 of them, and he got closer to the bullseye in a lot better group. I mean, that's sub MOA right there. That's about a 1/4 inch. I'm sure if we were able to practice with this thing and be less skittish of it, because of there's a problem with the sear in this particular gun that sometimes when you push the bolt forward, the firing pin will just engage and it'll fire the round right when you push the bolt down. So that's kind of nerve-wracking. Might be other issues too. I'm sure with practice though, this could be a sub MOA black powder bolt action rifle from the late 19th century. So right now we're gonna do standing fire, and I'll show you kind of how that goes, and then we'll conclude the video because we're out of ammo. Do some standing fire at 50 yards. Gotta show you the recoil of the rifle as I'm standing. Those are my two for standing. If I ever load some more up and you guys want another video on this, I'll do it. So now I'm gonna switch over the camera, the rifle. The old man's got 3 left in the box. He's gonna shoot his target. Pushes you back. Oh, all 3 of yours chambered.
Thank God.
Well, it looks like you're on paper. So let's
We'll check it out.
yeah, and then we'll conclude the video on the rifle. So here's my 2. They're either those 2 or those 2. So I actually did better standing up, which is kind of weird. The old man's target. You hit high, right? Those 3 on the top.
Yeah.
We'll compare it to the other targets, but still, I did move the sight up. So your sight picture must be different than mine,
Much different.
because I'm aiming lower and you're aiming higher on the same setting. So, all right, we're gonna go back, conclude the video, and that'll be it. I mentioned at the beginning part of the video as I was rushing through it is the cartouche on the stock. It says 1874 on it, and DELFT. I don't know if that was a manufacturer or whatnot. So the rifle itself is from 1874, and probably when it got upgraded to the 77 version, it probably got a new stock on it, so who knows. The cartouche is really still strong. There's a, I think that's an acceptance mark, a royal acceptance mark from the Dutch royalty. There's some acceptance marks up here on the barrel too, right there. So NFN. Somebody probably knows more about those than I do, so if you know for a fact, just post and so everybody can learn. This thing is really cool. This is the 50-yard target from me. These are all my shots, and I'm pretty freaking happy with the results. You know, granted, this is not supposed to be a precision freaking, you know, 1/4 MOA at 1,000 yards, blah 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 gun. And it's supposed to be a gun that you can put a big slug down range at a relatively fast velocity compared to a muzzleloader. And I think it does its purpose, as it's accurate enough. If this was a deer at 50 yards, and I was aiming for the kill zone, which is about this big, that would be killed, a kill shot. Especially with a 405 grain cast slug, that's going to do some damage and probably drop the deer instantly. Like I said, someday I want to try and hunt an American bison with this, and because I love buffalo meat, it's delicious, and it's just really good stuff, and I want to do it with this rifle kind of just to see if I can, and it'd be a really cool way to do it. Anyways, so this rifle is, let's see, so this is 143 years old this year, 1873, 2016, and this thing can still hit as good, it's about as consistent as I am with, you know, like a VZ24 or K98 that's more modernized. So pretty happy with this. This rifle is a really ingenious piece of machinery. It's really simple. Like the bullet, if you took it apart, you'd probably crap your pants at how simple it is, like just rudimentary. And these are not interchangeable, so if you have a different rifle, each one of these was made precision to itself, so the bolts won't go into other rifles. Because I have another one of these, and they're not interchangeable parts. Trust me. Like maybe the screws are, but that's it. So they're each made individually, and they're each going to be unique. If you have a chance and you can afford to get the components to make the ammunition, I highly recommend getting one of these. They're just an awesome piece of history. They're old. They're really unique. I don't know of many other bolt-action black powder rifles that fired the big cartridges. Like, obviously the 88 commission rifle fired black powder cartridges, but that was a small caliber round. This is the old school Frontier Buffalo style rounds, the huge bullets and whatnot, and it's also bolt action, which is pretty cool. They can be had from between, I've seen them, $200 and $700 depending on condition and all that stuff. So yeah, if you got any questions, I'll try to answer them. If not, I will steer you in a direction to somebody that knows the answer. Appreciate you watching as always. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I know we did a lot of bench firing, which is really boring, and other people do that on YouTube, but I really don't think this is meant to be tactically fired for the warfare style back then. So that's why we just did some standing at the end and then bench shot, just to kind of show you the accuracy of a 143-year-old rifle that not many people have been able to shoot because the ammo is unobtainium. But yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll keep making videos like this. If you want any more information, or you want me to make another video on this eventually, please post it in the comments. It's fun shooting this thing. It's really unique. It got a hell of a push on it, but it's still doable. Like, my shoulder's not sore. Just pushes your whole body back. But thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.